Welcome. Today, we're diving deep into Chapter 8 of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, this isn't just ancient philosophy. This chapter tackles some of the biggest questions we can ask. Things like, what's the real nature of reality? What actually happens at the moment of death? And maybe most importantly, how do the things we do right now end up shaping our ultimate destiny? So yeah, let's get right into it.
At the very heart of this entire chapter is a question that has pretty much haunted humanity forever. What is the secret to a good death? It sounds heavy, I know, but the answer, as we're about to see, has everything to do with how we choose to live moment to moment.
So let's set the scene. You've got this immense battlefield. The great warrior Arjuna is having a total crisis. He's about to go to war against his own family, his teachers, his friends. He turns to his charioteer, who, of course, is none other than Lord Krishna himself. And in this moment of profound doubt, he just unloads a series of questions that cut right to the core of existence itself.
So here's how we're going to break down Krishna's incredible answers. First, we'll look at Arjuna's urgent questions. Then, we're going to build a cosmic vocabulary so we can all speak the same language. After that, we'll get into the real heart of it, the unbelievable power of our final thought, a practical way to guide that thought, and then we'll explore the two different journeys the soul can take after death, which leads to the ultimate destination, a place of no return.
All right, let's start right at the beginning. Arjuna's questions are basically the key that unlocks this entire chapter. And you've got to remember, he's not just asking for himself, he's asking for all of us.
So Arjuna just lays them out, 7 big questions. The first few are about defining these huge cosmic ideas, right? What is Brahma, this ultimate reality? What is Adhyatma, the self? What is karma? He's also asking about the physical world, the cosmic gods, and the divine spark inside the body. But really, all of this is just building up to his last, most critical question. How can a person, at the moment of death, know and realize you? That is the central mystery we're here to solve.
Okay, so before Krishna can even get to that huge final question, he knows he needs to set the stage. He has to define his terms. So he lays out this kind of cosmic vocabulary, giving Arjuna and us the building blocks to really grasp the structure of reality. First up, Brahma. Krishna's answer is direct. He says, the supreme imperishable is Brahma. Now, this isn't a god with a beard on a cloud or anything like that. This is the ultimate, formless, unchanging reality that is the foundation for absolutely everything.
Next, Krishna defines Adhyatma. He says this is one's own self, or the soul. So this is our true identity. That individual consciousness inside each and every one of us. It's our eternal nature, which, get this, is a tiny fragment of the divine itself.
Okay, now we get to karma, and Krishna's definition here might just surprise you. He says karma is the discharge of spirit which brings forth the existence of beings. So forget everything you think you know about what goes around comes around. In this context, karma is the actual creative force of the universe. It's the act of creation itself. It's huge.
And then Krishna quickly wraps up the last 3 terms. Adi Buddha, he says, is basically the entire physical world. Everything that comes and goes, that decays. Adi Daiva is the cosmic creator, the divine force that engineers the whole universe. And finally, Adi Yajna. Well, that's Krishna himself, present inside every single one of us, as the silent inner witness to everything we do.
I know, that's a lot of abstract concepts. So to tie it all together, the commentary gives us this brilliant analogy. Think of water, right? Just like H2O can be invisible vapor, or a fluffy cloud, or rain, or solid ice, it's all still water. In the same way, the one supreme reality shows up in all these different forms. Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, they might seem separate, but they're all just different expressions of the exact same divine source.
Okay, so now that the vocabulary is set, Krishna is ready to answer Arjuna's most urgent question, the one about the moment of death. And believe me, this is the absolute turning point of the entire chapter.
And his answer is, well, it's breathtakingly simple. It's a single principle, a single idea that governs the soul's entire journey. It is literally the key to our destiny.
And here it is, the core teaching. Krishna says, whatever being a man thinks of at the time of death when he leaves the body, that alone does he attain. And the reason why is the most important part, because he has been ever absorbed in the thought thereof. See, your final thought isn't some random thing. It's the grand finale, the natural result of what you have focused on your entire life.
The commentary makes this brutally clear. It's not a metaphor. If your entire life has been absorbed in thinking about your beloved pet and your last thought is of your dog, you'll be reborn as a dog. But, on the other hand, if your final, all-consuming thought is of the Supreme Lord, you attain the Lord. It's that direct. The object of your mind in that final moment dictates what comes next.
So that's a lot of pressure, right? I mean, the moment of death, it's chaotic, painful, unpredictable. How on earth can anyone guarantee that their final thought will be the right one? Well, Krishna provides a very clear, very practical method.
Krishna's instruction is simple and powerful. He tells Arjuna, "Therefore think of me at all times and fight." He doesn't say go hide in a cave. No! He says do your duty, live your life, fight the battle in front of you, but do it with your mind and intellect constantly fixed on me. If you practice that your whole life, it becomes an automatic reflex at the end.
And the commentary breaks this practice down into 3 types. First, there's remembrance that comes from knowledge, that deep, gut-level realization that you are not this temporary body. Second, there's remembrance from affinity, just nurturing that natural, eternal connection we all have to the divine. And third, there's remembrance from practice, the conscious effort to remember God while you're doing your everyday stuff, your job, your chores, everything.
Krishna then explains something fascinating. He says that, depending on our state of consciousness, there are basically 2 different roads the soul can travel after leaving the body. And these 2 paths lead to wildly different destinations.
And here they are. On one hand, you have the path of light. This is for those who really know the Supreme. It's symbolized by fire, by daylight, and it leads to total liberation. There is no coming back. On the other hand, there's the path of smoke. This path leads to heavenly worlds, where you get to enjoy the rewards of your good deeds. But, and this is a huge but, it's temporary. Once your good karma runs out, you have to come back to the mortal world.
So what about that first path, the path of light? Where does it actually take you? Krishna describes this final home for the soul, a state of being that is beyond all the other worlds of temporary pleasure and pain. And Krishna's words here could not be more clear. He says that every world, from the highest heaven all the way down, are places you eventually have to leave. The cycle of birth and death continues. But, he says, for the person who attains me, there is no more rebirth. The cycle is broken for good. This is the ultimate goal. It's not really a physical place so much as it is the soul's true home. It's a state of being that's beyond all the pain, all the change, all the suffering of the material world. It is the highest perfection, the supreme destination, where the cycle of rebirth finally comes to an end. And so, this incredibly profound, ancient wisdom comes full circle, right back to us, here and now. It becomes a very personal challenge. The teaching is crystal clear. The thoughts we choose to cultivate every single day are literally forging the mind that will face that final moment. So the question becomes, if your final thought really does shape your entire eternity, what will you choose to fill your thoughts with today?